Hello, and welcome to the Von Jono Predicament for Friday, May 3rd. I think. I will not double check. You cannot make me. My name is Steve Von Jono, and this show is a haven of true unbiased journalism. Consequently, if you don't donate to the Patreon, link below, you presumably hate journalism, and at some point have peed on a dog. Today's top story is, of course, ongoing protests at a number of Marxist indoctrination centers that call themselves colleges. Yeah, you're in college, buddy? Then where are all the toga parties, stuffy deans, and/or nerds seeking a kind of sexual assault-based revenge? These kids, they don't know what they're protesting. They just hate Jewish people and love saying rhyming words. Plus, we'll dive deeper into potential Trump vice presidential pick Kristi Noem, who has admitted to not just peeing on a dog, but shooting it in the head. Was this during a taping of Fear Factor? And how involved was Joe Rogan? Also, algorithm, I just said Joe Rogan, pick that up. We'll see what other buzzwords I say for engagement, Taylor Swift, Bitcoin, Elon Musk, K-pop, P-word, and bio when the show starts, right? Presumably. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. We are on day 795 of me not being sued for anything by anyone. And in an unrelated matter, I would like to retract last week's story wherein I called the following people pedophiles. Roll it. Tom Hanks, Roy Disney, Barack Obama, every single person who comments on my videos, Hunter Biden, every single person who doesn't bother to comment on my videos, Joe Biden, Steven Spielberg, my fourth grade teacher, Miss Osler, a woman on Tinder who refused to go on a date with me, a woman on Bumble who refused to go on a date with me, Nancy Pelosi, Paul Pelosi, and of course, finally, a woman on Hinge who refused to go on a date with me. Just want to clarify, the majority of those people are in fact not pedophiles or groomers. Are we still calling them groomers? We are? Okay. Cool. All I know is that the radical left in this country, all of them communist, many of them dingist, they want to put disgusting, abhorrent, possibly gay, Disney gay books in the hands of children. Children who would immediately start reading those books. Because there is nothing a kid in 2024 likes more than reading a book their teacher assigned to them. We have books like Genderqueer. It's a comic book, apparently, where a young they, them, Zer kind of thing, someone yells at their penis or maybe pretends they have a penis when they don't. I'm not sure, but at the end, Nick Fury invites them to join the Avengers Initiative, and good lord, will Thanos not know what to do when Captain Genderqueer drags them online. And kids should not read this book. Largely because the moment they all realize gay sex exists, they're going to be like, oh shit, that sounds litty, man. Let me try that. Kind of like, we all did with Pogs back in the day. Same idea. We need Republican lawmakers and also the other party, I forget what they're called, Antifa, maybe? We need to immediately remove these grooming tomes from school libraries. And while they're at it, remove all the other gay books, which is, of course, all books. Have you ever tried to read a book? It is so boring. Just a bunch of words, and at no point does Zendaya play tennis. I, for one, will not vote for any presidential candidate unless they promise to tear down every school library and replace it with a jungle gym or maybe just a big room where you can charge your iPad and potentially harass female senators. Also, we'll have pizza for lunch every day, and you're allowed to wear a swimsuit to school if it's hot outside. And any legislator who does not sign off on this is a groomer, pedophile groomer. The worst of both kinds. Yeah, that's right. I'm looking at you. List of the following people. First off, Alexander Smithfield Jacobson. All right, that sums it all up. No more books and way more charging bricks. That means it's time for the, you guessed it, the gosh darn news.
It's the news. Watch the news. Enjoy the news. I said enjoy it.
Kristi Noem shot a dog in the head. And as a moderate centrist, not sure how I feel about that. I am against the murder of innocent things like dogs or babies or the novel coronavirus. But on the other hand, I do like when people are willing to do something hard, even if it's unpopular. And on the third hand, I am threatened by women in positions of power, so I have a lot of hands all over this thing.
I said do something hard, that was funny.
In her new book, which I believe is called Pick Me Harder, Daddy, the current South Dakota governor and hopeful Donald Trump, savior of mankind, I'm neutral on him, VP pick, has said that when she was younger, like 47, she's very old, all dried up and busted, yucks, no thanks, her pheasant hunting dog, really are part of the working people, escaped from her truck. and promptly murdered a series of chickens, forcing her to do another murder, this time to the dog. Now, important to note, it is legal to murder a dog as long as you both own the dog and don't force the dog to read genderqueer. This shocking admission, I for one am aghast, has led many to question whether or not Donald Trump should, in between bouts of weightlifting and being so good at sex he has to pay porn stars not to tell anyone, reconsider his VP picks. Now, according to sources, he is dead set on adding a woman to his ticket, despite the fact that they are obviously gross. But instead of a woman like Kristi Noem or Carly Lake, maybe you should look at a black like Tim Scott, or possibly a gay like Tim Scott.
You've been burnt, Scott.
Point is, whoever Donald Trump picks, like, who even cares? Okay? If you're a radical punk rock skateboarder like me, okay, you rage against the machine, but you just gotta say, whatever, man, who even cares, dude? Let's burn the whole thing down, man. I'm gonna do a kickflip, whatever. Now, I mean, obviously you gotta vote Republican, or else your kids will all end up trans, like, again, Tim Scott. But that doesn't mean you're a Republican, and it especially doesn't mean I'm a Republican. Stop saying that. We're moderate centrists here. We support moderate centrist ideas like the complete and total destruction of all societal systems and the eventual withdrawal into the woods of all human beings, where we will live on a combination of leaves and birds. Duh. So when people come up to me on the street, they're always doing this. When I pull up in my Bugatti with my rock and roll fringe, the boish, and we're like, we will not be waiting in the line at Perkins very much. That's right, we're famous. Look at our leather jackets. Oh, yeah. People come up to me and they go, Steve, how do you feel about Kristi Noem shooting her dog in the face? And also Marjorie Taylor Greene firing Mike Johnson. And I go, Mike Johnson, is this some kind of prank call thing? Like, hey, oh, you're looking for a Mike Johnson? Mike Johnson, I need someone to take care of Mike Johnson. Also, Marjorie Taylor Greene did not baby reindeer me in a Gaylord Maryland Hilton during CPAC. Stop saying that and get your dog away from me. It won't stop barking and it smells bad. I'm going to shoot it in the head. It only makes sense. Next story.
Second story. There's another story. I'm giving you additional stories. You're welcome.
Israel and Palestine are at war. And as all my viewers know, I am strongly anti-war. I oppose all wars, even the wars we all agree were cool, like World War II or one side in the Civil War. Will not be specifying further, thank you very much. All of these wars lead to massive profits for weapons manufacturers like Northrop Grumman or DoorDash. And it's why I have said repeatedly that we need to stop sending weapons to Ukraine, and also, maybe Vladimir Putin is actually 6'1", and everything you've seen to the contrary is fake news. So I definitely do not support the bloody and vicious war between two completely equal sides, Israel and Palestine. And I hope they figure it all out soon. Just figure it out, okay? But to all of the students protesting, maybe, just maybe, chill out, man. It's not a big deal. Like, listen, no one wants a war here, but don't you have anything better to do? Like inventing new kinds of gay sex, okay? Gen Z seems really into it, this protesting thing, okay? Maybe instead, you just, I don't know, stand on opposite sides of the room and then start jacking off. And then right before you're about to finish, you instead snort some Adderall and do your algebra homework. Boom! Just invented some new kinds of gay sex. You're welcome, Gen Z. But this advice is not being taken by a number of students at several prestigious universities like Columbia or NYU or Dayton Community College / Jersey Mike's Management Trainee Institute. They've spent the last several weeks protesting hard. They've literally ordered a number of tents off Amazon and are just camping on what some are calling the quad. They're not having sex, doing keg stands, inventing YouTube. None of the things that kids do when society is running properly. All they can do is bitch and whine and refuse to shower. We need to ban college. Just imagine, you're an innocent parent and/or student loan company. You've put up all this money for your precious John or Jane, and that's the end of the list for name options, to go to college and study something useful like engineering or hotel management. But they can't get to class because a bunch of protesters, probably funded by George Soros, a guy who obviously loves Hamas, they're standing in the way, camping. And it's ironic because the group they're supporting are radical Islamists who would probably behead them for camping. Or maybe for being gay, or just for being whatever you call it when you go down on other chicks sophomore year, and then junior year only have sex with black guys, and then senior year you get an internship at your dad's construction company and you meet a nice boy and decide to buy a townhouse together. They'll behead you for that. These students claim that Israel is doing a genocide, and maybe don't say it in a dumb voice if you want us to take you seriously. What they refuse to acknowledge is that on October 7th, Hamas launched a brutal attack on a Tel Aviv music festival. They murdered a number of very cute babies. And more importantly, they briefly interrupted a Tel Aviv music festival. Do you understand how many pulsating beats the world was robbed of on that day? Falafels and tahini. Tel Aviv. And again, listen, I don't have a side here. I'm just against all war. Even the card game, quite frankly, not a huge fan. Prefer Go Fish. But I think these college students continue to show us just how ignorant they are. When they advocate for wild positions like communism or Sharia law or making the Little Mermaid black, all things that college students are constantly TikToking each other over, and also we got to ban that, and also Joe Biden is wildly corrupt for banning it, these college students are showing they haven't really thought out their positions and are just bowing to societal pressure, the worst kind of pressure. What they haven't realized is that while it might seem cool to protest Israel and vote for Joe Biden and go back and forth between gender identities every few hours, maybe the actual cool thing is to instead wear reasonable slacks and only do drugs once a year at a Fish and/or Kid Rock concert. So that's right. I support the administrators of these colleges in their suspending and arresting of these students. And then only that. I don't support them on anything else. We should shut down every college ever, and all of these people should be given jobs, I don't know, running a Petco or something. Okay? Listen, I don't like college, but throwing college kids in jail and/or giving them a C- in Intro to Calc, that is cool as hell. Also, I remain an ardent free speech warrior. I think everyone should be free to say whatever they want, especially if it's racist. Okay? Just because you accidentally post the N-word on social media, mostly because you were confused about where exactly the search bar is, that doesn't mean you need to lose your job or your girlfriend or have your car repossessed for several months of non-payment. Those are all clear violations of your First Amendment rights. But there have to be limits here. We can't just have people out there saying whatever they want about Israel should stop carpet bombing Gaza or how Steve Vongino has a weird penis. That's not free speech. That's hate speech. And it's the bad kind of hate speech, okay? The bad kind. Not the good kind like harassing trans people. That rocks.
It also rocks to harass regular people by calling them trans people. Give it a shot, a lot of fun.
So I call on all of these protesters to return their tents to Amazon for a full refund and to accept that we cannot change anything happening in the Middle East. It is what it is, okay? And you need to remember that we can still enjoy Palestinian food even if they're all dead. And that's that. What? Oh, we're running short. We need to fill up some more time. Okay. Jerry Seinfeld said that comedy's too woke now, and he can't do any of his edgy material about, like, washing machines or wwhatever. And you know what? He's right. These college students are too precious. And also, everything Israel's doing is kind of a stand-up set. All right? So take a joke. All right, 19-year-olds. Also, Jerry Seinfeld dated a high schooler in the 90s, and I think that's kind of cool because what? We're out of time? Well, thank God, because let me tell you something. That was going to go in some dark directions. All right, gang. Thanks for watching. I love you all. I'm on the socials, so I got to scratch my eyes. It almost looks like I'm trying to do an Asian face, but I'm not. I'm just scratching my eyes. I'm not doing any sort of Asian face. Hey, man, you want some fried rice or what's the deal? I'm canceled now, and it's cool. Follow me on X.com, a website that's always been called that. TikTok, Instagram, most importantly, Patreon.com. For $5 a month, you get an extra bonus episode. You get to vote in polls. You get access to raw, unedited video footage. And you get, of course, an executive producer credit. That's right. You're in show business now, baby. You donate $5 a month to Patreon. You're a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Okay? A lot of people are asking, how the hell did Green Book win Best Picture? I'll tell you how Green Book won Best Picture. The Vongino predicting him executive producers. That's how I won that thing. Said a lot of words wrong in this one. Don't care. Not going to redo it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Oh, like and subscribe. I didn't say that. Hopefully, I still put up the little thing at the bottom that said like and subscribe earlier, and it's just been up there this whole time. If it isn't, oh, I am firing the editor, who is me. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you so much. And until next time.
Yeah, I mean, we should send more guns to Israel, but generally speaking of Jewish people, we're kind of touch and go, right?
Shut up and sit down.